This is Desiree Summer, and you are listening to the podcast where we talk about how to style, beautify, and make your life fun again. Here we go. Hey, it's Desiree Summer. Happy Friday to you all. And I'm going to start with a quote. It's by Victoria's Secret model Erin Heatherton, and she says, "Being yourself is very sexy, you know?" Is that a hint on what we're talking about today? We're talking about the art of feeling sexy at any age and at any weight. Ah, yes, sexy. What a tantalizing and dangerous word for so many of us, right? How many of us are interested in feeling sexy and yet feel completely left out of that category entirely? How many of us feel like we don't get to play there at all because of maybe our age, our weight, our bodies, our disabilities, and so much more? We often think sexy is something that other people get to define for us. And you know, that's pretty problematic for the reasons that I listed above. And we get stuck thinking that sexy is something that we do and wear for others. We think that we are sexy for other people, usually men, right? And you know, often that's not so fun either. So what if we could change all that? What if we could do as Justin Timberlake says and bring sexy back? All the way back into something that feels fun and inviting and playful again. And how about innocent and completely non-predatory and safe for that measure? So I know what you're thinking. A lot of you out there are thinking that it's just impossible that you could ever feel sexy. But it really is. I guarantee it, even if you've never felt that way before. You know, sexy to me is Michelle Pfeiffer in her 60s, starting a brand new perfume line and getting passionate and curious and showing up in this unexpected way at a time when most people are thinking about simply retiring or being told they should. Sexy is Helen Mirren refusing to cover up at her age, showing some skin and looking completely elegant, confident, completely natural as she does it. Sexy is model Ashley Graham, who's a plus-size model and very non-traditional, being unabashed about her appeal despite her size, showing up sexy, confident, and just owning it. So my point here is that sexy really is something that we can do for ourselves, and we don't have to do it for another person ever if we don't want to. In fact, you know, often sexy isn't even something we do or wear. It's this feeling inside of ourselves of joy that happens when we feel good and desirable in our own skin, just as we are right now. And to feel sexy is to own our own beauty, our mystery, our allure, and to feel like we're able to play in the game of love, fun, and flirtation as much or as little as we want to. Every time we show up as sexy in ways that delight ourselves, even when we've been told that we're too old, too ugly, too big, too dateless, too tall, too short, too masculine, too disabled, every time we show up as sexy despite that and we own it, we end up opening the door for others. We end up making more space and more room for women who look and act just like us to have permission to feel as sexy as they want to. And I think that is so worthwhile. So if you've been interested in ways to feel good, feeling sexy, and ways to play in it, that's what this post is all about. And if you go to the newsletter or the blog, you can watch a tiny little video to inspire you all about what sexy can look like. And then I have a few journal prompt questions for you. And the first one is, do you regularly and even innocently manage to see the appeal and charm and, yes, the sexiness in others? People who walk around the world and they see joy in everyone around them and everything around them, they tend to be pretty joyful, yeah? And people who see the likable in others tend to be pretty likable themselves, yes? So, what happens when we see the sexy, the appeal and vitality of others around us? We tend to be in touch with our own sense of appeal and vitality, with our own sense of sexy. So again, do you regularly manage to see the appeal and charm, and yes, the sexy in others? And just a note here, seeing what is sexy in other people can be very safe, innocent, and completely non-predatory. It never ever needs to make any sorts of demands on other people. And sometimes I think we've forgotten that. The other question is, how can you make it a point to notice to yourself more what the appeal of others is? And what's sexy in you, right? Can you take that same non-judgmental, very generous focus that can see what is sexy about other people and start to focus it on you? There's a quote here I love by Kendra Wilkinson. It says, "Every woman is sexy in her own way." And that really speaks to me about what I was saying before, that sexy is not just one thing, no matter what culture tells you. Sexy is so many things. It's as many things as there are people. And last, I always include a little weekly way to play. So to do that, I want you to ask yourself, what places or things do you naturally find sexy? What tends to make you feel good in your skin? And no answers are too off the wall here. You know, for you, something that's naturally sexy might be going to an indie bookstore. It might be a coffee shop that makes you feel incredibly cool. It might be the power tool department at Home Depot. None of those are wrong, right? So think about how sexy someone is when they're in their element, and then put you in your element. Once you get there, I want you to take all of the attention off you. Yep, that's right. You do not need to try to be sexy or flirt or do any of that. You don't have to pop the first button on your blouse. You don't have to flutter your eyelashes. Nope, none of that. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to look around and find what's sexy about everything and everyone in the room around you. And like I said, no one has to know. I just want you in your own mind to frame that. What's appealing about this barista? What is sexy about this couple over here? After you spend about 30 to 40 minutes of doing that, you can leave or you can take out a journal there, whatever you want. But I want you to think about what your experience was, because I'm guessing if you showed up in your element and you spent that entire time looking for what was sexy about other people, I'm betting you had a really fun, enjoyable time. And I'm hoping that reveals to you that sexy really isn't about how we show up for other people. It's a mindset. It's about how we feel. And it's this wonderful, fun, innocent, non-predatory exchange that we get to have between ourselves and other people. I hope that you really enjoyed it. I hope that you felt like you got something that you can go out and play with. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. All my love. Bye-bye. And hey there, I should mention, if you are enjoying these podcasts, you should sign up for the Fun on Fridays newsletter. These podcasts come out as newsletters about a week before I put them out for the public. They come with fun photos, videos, little extras, and also by signing up, you would be the first to know about any new freebies, new offers, new classes, or webinars. You get to know first. I hope you sign up, and again, I can't wait to see you next week. Bye, you guys.